Hello again, Cecil County and the world. Rob Churnside here, and great to be back. In good old Cecil County, I've been traveling all over the world. I'll tell you all about it in an upcoming Cecil County Around the World segment. But now, and only now, as I sit here flanked by fiction, I want to introduce you to our first guest tonight. It's the weekly show. And welcome Judy Murray, author from Turkey Point.
I am.
Now, you were formerly a member of the Pennsylvania Navy, right?
I was. They call it the Pennsylvania Fleet. That's right. At least that's how I know it. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's what drew us across the border to the top of the Chesapeake Bay.
And that was a few years back?
About 17 years ago. Time goes fast.
Yes. And,
yep.
And speaking of Turkey Point, a lot of your mysteries are set in Cecil County. They're all set in Cecil County, but some are even actually from Turkey Point, including the new one?
Absolutely. Turkey Point has a big part of all my stories. I actually use all of Cecil County and some of the periphery areas, so it's Upper Chesapeake, and it ends up being called Port Anne. So Northeast is called Port Anne, and all the names are changed to protect the innocent. So Turkey Point is called Osprey Point, and Steak and Maine is called Crab and Claw, and Woody's is called the Blue Crab. Benjamin Lumber is called Taylor Lumber, and frankly, that's part of the fun for the readers that are from here.
Right.
Because it's a little bit of a, where's Waldo?
You mentioned some people in there that I don't know if they're all that innocent. I'm not going to mention any names.
No. Mm-mm.
But you brought crime to Cecil County in a literary sense.
Yep, I did.
And tell us about your latest book.
My latest book? Latest book is this one. That's Villain in the Vineyard. And Villain in the Vineyard is all centered around two gentlemen that were killed soon after the story begins. My protagonist, Helen Morrisey, is a local real estate broker. And because of that, she tends to get involved in people's personal lives. She sees things that people don't always want to know that They know who hides the chocolate under the bed, and who has too many bills, and who has arguments, and who's in love, whatever. And but part of Villain in the Vineyard has to do with Blue Elk Vineyard, right there off of Turkey Point Road, right on the Elk River. Gorgeous vineyard, and we have a vineyard owner who is also Commodore of the local yacht club. And yes, the Port Anne Yacht Club, supposedly. And that particular vineyard owner is not too long for this world.
Wow. And there's a lot going on with that. And as the reader reads all your books, and they're all doing very well, you've won some awards, right?
I have. I've won 8 awards, gold, silvers, an international award down in Nashville. I was an Agatha nominee for a conference down in Bethesda, Maryland, every year. A lot of different awawards, yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
My question was, the readers reading these books, and I'm sure they're page turners, and do you offer the readers clues so that they can get the mystery before you actually lay it on them in print?
Yes, I would say to you, I think my stories are a lot along the lines of an Agatha Christie, where you end up laying out the different clues, but they're neatly hidden. They're there, but you have to listen, you have to watch, you have to be careful. And at the end of a book, people will often say, I knew it, I should have seen it, it was there all along. And that makes a big difference, because I do believe in being fair with the reader. Have you ever read a book or seen a movie where the person who's found to be the killer is some odd third level character, and you say, what? Who? What? Where? And you feel cheated.
Right.
And
or conversely,
I never want to do that.
It's right there in front of your face from like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's the shopkeeper in a deli, and you never see him again until the last scene when he's revealed to be the killer. That's not fair.
Well, it's summertime. People are going to the beach. How can they get these books?
A lot of ways, obviously. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any independent bookstore. Kathy's Corner, right in Northeast on the main street of town, which in the books is called Callie's Tomes and Treasures. carries, you know, I don't know if you know it, and I'll give a shout out for all local authors. She has one very large room that has all local authors, a bookstore within her shop. And all my books are there. They're autographed. You can pick them up there.
Awesome.
Sun Pharmacy, right in Rising Sun, they very kindly carry my books. So they're all over the place online and in local shops and things like that. I do have a book signing coming up on June 13th at Kathy's Corner, part of the second Friday event that they do.
That sounds great, Judy. And I know Sunfest is coming up in Rising Sun this coming weekend. So I'm sure a lot of people will be picking up your book at the pharmacy.
They certainly can. They certainly can.
That's the only place to get a Chico stick, I think.
Is that right?
That I know of.
You know, Sun Pharmacy really should be in one of my books because it's one of those true historic feeling pharmacies. It's marvelous. And
Right.
Tom is an amazing pharmacist, and the shop itself just has that sensation of being, you know, a real throwback and with lots of feeling.
Well, folks, you have a website? Or
Of course, www.judylmurraymysteries.com. You can contact me if you'd like to sign up for my newsletter. If my email address is out there for anyone who wants to contact me directly. I love, by the way, to do book signings with book clubs. And in fact, I'll mention quickly, and that is that just 2 weeks ago, we had an event to launch Villain in the Vineyard at Blue Elk Vineyard. We sold 85 tickets. We sold out. And that group, the room was completely filled. We had no more room. It was a wonderful, wonderful night. And we took all the net proceeds and we put it towards the Dolly Parton Imagination Library for Cecil County.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. All these alliterative titles. Murder in the Master, Killer in the Kitchen, Villain in the Vineyard, and
Peril in the Pool.
Peril in the Pool House. What's
Yep.
next?
I don't know. I'm working on
Bad
it.
Guys in the Brewery.
Yeah, you know,
That's great.
I will say this too. It's so funny. I have so many people that get involved. They send me emails and they'll send me 15, 20 suggestions for the next title. And they're hysterical. I mean, you know, when they say bludgeoned in the basement, I think, I don't think that's me. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm glad you came on the show. And June 13th, Kathy's Corner, Judy Murray will be there signing her books, talking about stuff, and the next one. So come on down.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.